Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
That's what I believe.
Well, good morning, folks out there in our Ted and Ed TV land here. I had to start this broadcast because Mr. Harvey said something that that all of you guys need to hear. we were doing a post telecast and he just said something that just totally destroyed me, and I had to let you folks hear it. You got to hear it. Ted, you're on. Go ahead.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Ted and Ed TV show, The Money Connection. And we were talking about the coming 2020 election because it seems like that's what the Democrats want to talk about. And we were talking about the front runners. And Mr. Bishop was saying that it's going to be about 20 people running for president, names and unnamed people. And I'm saying to myself, and we know that this is a crucial, 2018 is one of the crucialest situations that we have that is so important that everybody get out there and vote. Vote early. Get your vote out the way. But it's almost like they're sabotaging themselves. You trying to tell me we can't get together, and when I say we, I'm talking about people that is in their right mind, and pick 2 or 3 real candidates and say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and come together. Solidarity. Come together with issues on table issues, household issues, because right now this is crucial. We have to remove what we have in the White House before this country go under, and put these what they call them undesirables or deplorables, let them go back where they came from, because they're running this country. You know, this country is supposed to be about unity, solidarity. It's called the United States. This is United States. It's got a lot of garbage, yes, but it's the United States, and we're supposed to be united, not divided. Because right now we got something going on. Right now, we got over 4,000 people trying to run from their country to get freedom from whatever is going on. And these senators and congressmen don't even want to deal with it. These people are hurting over there in different parts of the country and for different parts of the world because of all of this sorry leadership in their country. We supposed to be the good country. We supposed to be helping other people. Here we are. We have the greatest country in the world. We make the most money in the world, and we $796 billion over budget because of stupidity. And, you know, I don't consider myself a very bright, smart person, you know, but I can add 1 + 1 and 2 + 2, you know, and know that when you don't need something, you don't get something. You don't need no whole lot of all of this military equipment and what have you, overspending the military and giving all of these people all of these large sums of money for contracts. This is crazy. I mean, this country had wasted $14 trillion, basically, putting it into the military. And a lot of it was probably worth it to keep the wars down, but then we still got wars. We're in like 5 or 6 wars right now. We're over in Yemen. These people are hurting all over the world, Ed. And we're hurting. We just had a major hurricane. People in Florida right now, there are hundreds of thousands of people right now in Florida that are homeless. And when you only want to go to Houston and Puerto Rico and all of that. You got these migrants crossing, thousands of them. I mean, do something, man. These people need to do something. I mean, you got the money, you got the budgets, but all they care about is politics. Win their little offices and be in control. They don't care. It's heartless, man. It's heartless stuff going on, man. And where's the evangelicals, man? The Christians, where are they? Can you tell me? Where's the heart? These poor women with their children coming across here, man, trying to save their children from being murdered, raped. These politicians, man, they're sick. Really, I'm serious. Both sides are sick as far as I'm concerned, because they can sit up here and play all the politics they want to and play the games, and try to, the thirst for power and all that. Your job is to solve problems. That's what your job is. Solutions. But you over there playing politics in D.C. so you can make your little money. And I hope you're happy, but you know what? I believe in what God says. Love your neighbor. These are taxpayer dollars. People are paying their hard-earned taxpayer dollars. You sit up here and you gave away billions and billions of dollars, really over $1 trillion in tax cuts for these billionaires and the 1%ers and the corporations. But we'll see, because karma, and excuse my French, but karma is a bitch. And time will tell.
Oh man.
I'm serious, bro, because this right here is ridiculous, man. The way this country is being ran, man, and all of playing political games and stuff with people's lives, man. People are dying, man. People are hurting. You're talking about the low unemployment and all of this mess, and the stock market is doing great and all that. Give me a break, man.
Well, it is doing great. It is doing great. But for only a select few, Ted. It's
25%
not for everybody.
Of the country.
Absolutely, whatever. But it's not for everybody. Is not the stock market doing great, but it's not for everybody. The unemployment is low, but it's not for everybody. But getting back to what you first started talking about, Ted, and that was the election and stuff. Why now that we are starting to get Democrats or whatever to start focusing? I don't know if the Democrats themselves are focusing on this 2020 thing, but I do know that a large part of the news media and stuff now are focusing in on 2020, when we have to, like you spoke earlier and stuff, we have to deal with that midterm. You can't sit there and do like Hillary did and stuff and thought this time in 2016 that she was going to win and never finished up. She didn't cross the finish line. You run a race and stuff, and like we used to say a long time ago, is you get up to payday and get fired. So we don't want the Democrats and stuff to really actually look past 2018, and that's what it seems like they are doing, or the media is steering us past 2018 for some reason or another. And some kind of way we need to get refocused and stuff and zero in and stuff on 2018 and finish that race, finish strong. We have to finish strong because, like you said, if we're going to defeat them people who are sitting up in that White House and stuff and everything that is creating a problem and stuff for this country, we have to be able to do some things preliminarily to get that done. The first thing is to get some of them Republicans and stuff out of that daggone House of Legislation, whether it's the House of Representatives or the Senate. You're going to have to get either both of them or one of them and stuff and everything to be able to do something to stop what's going on. Because if we don't get those votes and stuff and get people and stuff into the House of Representatives or the Senate who are going to be able to put a stop sign there in front of the White House, we can forget it, man. It's almost going to be lost. So we have to get like laser focus and stuff on the midterms and stay on top of that and forget about what's going on in 2020. I did bring that up, about it because you can't start focusing on 2020 yet. It's too early. You got 2 years before the 2020 election is going to happen. Stay on focus, stay laser, and then deal with the other things that are going on. You got voter suppression going on out there. You got voter suppression there in Florida and stuff where Andrew Gillum is at, Ted. Yeah, man. And they got voter protection here in Georgia and stuff. We got almost 1 million people that this guy then took all the voter rolls. He took them off because they didn't vote for 2 cycles and stuff. So he pulling them all off. You can't vote now because 2 cycles passed by. You didn't vote, even though you registered to vote. Everybody should have the opportunity not to want to go out and vote. So if you don't go out and vote, they're gonna take away from you. That's man, this is too much. And it's not only going on in these 2 states and stuff. There's all states all around the country and stuff where Republicans want to get back in power and stuff. In Texas, they're doing the same thing. They're taking people off the road. And we just have to get out there and continue that fight and stuff and everything, and don't lose sight of what's going to get you in power. Because as we saw when Obama got elected and stuff in 2008, 2010 was a turning point in everything and stuff for this country, for the Obama administration and everybody. And we didn't realize it until we got to 2012 and stuff and everything, the damage that was done in 2010. It was horrible, man. The Republicans just took over all those local offices and everything. And then once they got out to them local offices and stuff, they started pulling people's names off the roll so they can stay in power. And until we get them out of that power positions and stuff in those local elections and stuff, it's going to be very, very difficult for us down the road to really actually do anything. So we have to stay focused and stuff on those little bitty things. You take care of the little thing, the big thing is going to be okay. And that big thing is getting that man who was destroying this country out of their White House. So we got to pay attention to what's going on and stuff around us, and be well aware of those things that are happening and stuff there. And we need to get out and start, like you said, early vote. And if you don't get to the early voting and everything, then you better vote on November 6th and everything and go out there. And it looks like some of the people and stuff out there, Ted, are responding to it, because we've seen all over the country and stuff that voting is way up. And for a midterm, it's almost as good as being in a general election. Right now it is.
Well, voting is up, but now here's the strategy, because I've been listening to some of these strategists, and they're saying that the Latino vote is one of the most important, but a lot of Latinos vote Republican. And they're going to get about 30% of the Latino vote. And they're going to get about maybe 10 to 12% of the Black vote. So, and therefore, that means it's a possibility they keep a lot of these local people in office that's running for these state offices and what have you. So the thing is, why do people vote against their own interests? That's what I don't understand.
Because
they vote
because you are listening to some of them folks out there who are prognosticators who in the past, like this Nate Silverman and whoever that guy is and stuff, who's supposed to be the polling guru, and they're still listening to him and everything, and that man is way out of tune. I do not believe that the Hispanics and stuff are going to vote like they say they are and stuff for these Republicans, especially after what happened to these kids, man, who are still incarcerated and stuff down there in Texas and some areas stuff around there as they cross those borders. They are not going to do that. It is horrible what this president has done. You got them dreamers who are still out there. Most of those people, if you talk to those executives and stuff from these Latin groups and that thing, they are in lockstep, man, to get these Republicans and stuff out of office and stuff because they are destroying their people. So those numbers that you're talking about, I don't believe them. And another reason why I don't believe them and stuff and everything is because if you've been watching the news other time, these Russians are coming in and they are hacking into our social media network. They're hacking into a lot of other groups and they're putting out these stories and stuff that are untrue.
Yep. That's
so
right.
Who do you believe? Some of these things and stuff, common sense will tell you it's not right because of what happened. And that thing with the Republicans and stuff doing what they did to these Hispanic kids and children and stuff who come across those borders and how they locking them up and everything. Those things happen. They happened just a few months ago. It ain't like it happened 2 years ago. It happened a few months ago.
Yep.
And then you hear Mitch McConnell sit there in front of the thing. I guess he figured that he had his stuff together and everything, telling people that his folks stay in power, they're going to go after Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid or whatever, and the healthcare system and stuff out there. And they aren't for pre-existing conditions and all that, but they're telling that people, yeah, we're for pre-existing conditions and stuff, but they voted against it. So some of our electorate out there and stuff, and the people who are out there voting, they need to think about what these people are saying and realize that some of that stuff that they're saying and stuff is just to get you to sit there and vote for them. So be smart and realize what the heck's going on and stuff there.
You know, policies and elections have consequences.
Absolutely.
And there are so many policies that these, I would say, sellouts, that's what they are, sellouts against the American people, for the American people's interests. They are sellouts for money. They're prostitutes. They're profits. They want to profit off of what they have to offer, and that's to give the mighty rich what they want so that they can keep their money so that they don't pay their fair share. They're just prostitutes. I mean, you know, so that they can get more money and more backing and more power so that they can stay in power so they can live their nice little cushy life, you know, and have limousine service, take them back and forth to work, you know, and have protection and have their nice little second house or third house and that kind of thing. Forget about the American people. American people, you know, I mean, just, you know, working for 40 something years of my life, 50 years of my life. I mean, if you think about it, man, you know, I mean, I've been around a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people in my life that's over the phone and present by doing customer service, by doing banking, by doing advertising, all of those things, and just being out there in the world. Most American people, man, are pretty content when they have a place to stay, transportation, food to eat, and be able to enjoy themselves over the weekend. Most Americans are pretty content. There's only a few people, you know, that's greedy and out there that don't have nothing and they're trying to take something. But most Americans, man, they just want to enjoy. Like if it's a festival happening a couple of places or they're doing things, they got things to do and people are enjoying life. But the point is, these politicians don't want Americans to enjoy life. They want you to be all up in. They want to be all up in your grill so that you don't be happy. That's what they want. They want you to be worried. They want you to be scared. That that's the reason why they got everybody want. You need to have 3 or 4 guns in your house, and you need to be have an alarm system in your house, and you need to have a gate around your neighborhood and armed guards and all that. Now we talking, you got to have guards at the school and all that kind of stuff. It got people walking in fear, walking in fear. The Bible tells us, and I'm gonna get a little preachy now. The Bible tells us, I'm gonna tell you, he said, God did not give us a spirit of fear, but he gave us a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. These politicians out there with their power, they do not have a sound mind. When are these people gonna realize that these people don't have a sound mind? And they sure don't have love in their heart. They might have power, but they don't realize that God is on the throne. He has all the power. So you can sit up there and spread your wings like a Green Bay tree, but I can guarantee you, when you fall, you're going to fall hard. You're going to fall hard. And I'm not making no prediction, and I'm not wishing nothing, but I know that, when you don't have a good motive for things that you're doing and trying to do the right things, it does come back on you, because the Bible tells us you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. So you reaping bad stuff on people, and people are dying all over the place, starving, homeless. You don't care about nobody. All you do is care about yourself and your little family. Hey, more power to you. More power to you, because you're the one making the decisions for thousands, millions of people. It ain't just for you and your little cronies. It's for millions of people. When you make a decision, you need to be thinking about all the millions of Americans that's out there. And right now, you all are not doing that. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. We already know 45 has no shame, and he's just, I don't even want. He's the president of the United States, but I'm telling you, man, this is embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. It really is, man. It's an embarrassment. He said up there, I didn't even watch it. I just been hearing excerpts of it. He said they're bragging that this politician slam dunked a journalist. What kind of craziness is that?
He said that's
a real good example. That's a real good example.
He said that's his buddy. If you can do that, that's be my buddy. But I don't know, Theodore. We as a country and stuff, for some reason or another, have accepted immorality
and cruelty.
Yeah, and why we have started accepting that and everything, I don't know. And I have no idea where it began at and where we're going and stuff with this, but I do know that if we want to see our country to come back somewhat, then we're going to have to take some serious look at that person and stuff that we look in the mirror at every day.
Well, what? I have my philosophy on that.
And we have to take that thing into ourselves and stuff. When I look in the mirror and say, what can I do? And what have I done? Yeah. And what have I done to cause this stuff to happen? And then
what I have not done
to cause this to happen, and look at ourselves first, and then start looking outward and stuff. And if we start inward and look at ourselves and become spiritualized inside ourselves, the Lord help me to do the things that I need to do to make my life and everybody's life around me better. And that's where you start. And if we can do that, and I think that'll be an excellent start and stuff for us.
Well, it ain't just being selfish and just trying to get all the money you can and can all the money you can, and just keep it for yourself.
And that's where it starts, that people get up every morning. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about the folks who are billionaires. I'm talking about the person who is down on the bottom of the list and he's in poverty and stuff. If all of us look at ourselves in the mirror and look deeply inside, what can I do? and you can find things to do. You don't have to lose a lot of your money and stuff if you're a billionaire. You have to start doing some things right, and you don't have to start as a person who is dealing in poverty and stuff and everything, and look at yourself and everything, and then start looking down and become depressed and stuff because you don't have what you need to take care of your children every day. We've been doing this thing and stuff for decades and stuff, Ted. You know, you remember your parents and stuff and everything, all the children they have, that they found a way and stuff back in those days and stuff to feed all their children.
That's right.
So you can't give up and everything because you've got 2 or 3 kids and stuff, and you're not making the kind of monies that you think you should be making and stuff to feed your children and stuff and everything. You're going to have to find a way to do what you need to do to take care of them. And those people who got all the money need to find a way and stuff and everything to become satisfied with themselves and say, hey, enough's enough. I'm not going to be greedy anymore. I'm going to let someone else have what I have.
Yeah,
because you got enough. You know, how much is enough, Ted? $100 billion enough money? How much is
man,
enough?
You know, I mean, to be real, man, I mean, it would be very, very, very hard to even spend $1 billion. You got people worth over 150 billion. I mean, it would be so hard to spend $1 billion, just $1 billion, on yourself.
How many
houses can you buy with $1 billion?
With $1 billion. I mean, how many houses can you live in?
I mean, a jet. You can get you $75 million jet. $75 million. That don't even touch the $1 billion. And you get you another $100 million house. And with your service, you still ain't touched nothing. Then you get you a couple of $200,000 Rolls Royces. You still ain't touched the $1 billion, bro. Come on now. But you gonna have service. What you gonna pay them?
That has to be realized within ourselves as we look in that mirror and and stuff and look back and say how much is enough. And when you get to that point, then stop and then let somebody else get it or whatever. But I think that a lot of them are afraid that they're going to lose it all, so they just keep on running for that rat race, and that carrot sitting out there, they're keeping that carrot in front of them. Well, they keep running harder. Somebody gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose this money if I don't do that.
You mentioned the word lose. You know what we just lost last week? Sears and Robot. Don't nobody call it Sears and Robot no more. They call it Sears. That was one of the staples of our country when we were little kids, Ed. We used to go there almost every weekend when we lived in Chicago, and then when we moved to Kankakee County area, and go there and shop for clothes and go in there and buy stuff, and I'll never forget, man. When my mom took me and I needed a new outfit. I don't know if for church or for some function or something. And she bought me this one pair of wool dress pants, gray slacks. I love them gray slacks, man. I'm serious. I mean, Sears, man, was a staple for black people. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but when we used to call it Sears and Robot, you know who Robot was? Ed?
Robux.
Do you remember? You remember who he was?
He was one of the partners, wasn't he? Wasn't he one of the partners or something?
Yeah. Do you know that he was black? Did you know that?
No, I didn't, and I wasn't.
Check your history, bro.
Yeah.
Check your history. And then they dropped the Robux, Sears and Robux.
Well, Ted, there have been a lot of staple names out there that have gone by the wayside, and we are seeing them slowly but surely leave our landscape.
Toys R Us,
leaving the landscape. And because they haven't done the due diligence to keep themselves going, because as you're going to stay relevant and stuff, Ted, you have to keep up with what's going on around you. Now,
Toys R Us, Ed, was making a profit, bro.
No, well, they weren't.
Every year.
They had a lot of debt on them. They had
No, you know why they had a lot of debt? You know why they had a lot of debt?
it doesn't matter why they had a lot of debt, and
No, well, let me tell you what happened.
and they mismanaged their things, so they had to go.
No. Toys R Us did not mismanage. Capital Banks came in, and they the ones took over the percentage of that company.
And they had a lot of, and they created debt for that
What
company.
they did was they created debt for that company, which it was very
had,
profitable.
They had a lot of debt, Ted, and you cannot beat it if you're going to take
that wasn't
debt.
Toys R Us employees, and that was
it doesn't matter. The employees do not control those companies and stuff, Ted. The people who on top control what happened with
Capital Banks destroyed that company.
It didn't, but Toys R Us management allowed it to happen. You can't blame it on somebody else, on Baines Capital. Yes, Baines did it, but you can't blame it on them because you allow Baines to come in and do that to you. That's just like any of us and stuff.
Why?
We allow
Why
somebody.
did they do that?
We allow somebody to come into our household and control what's going on. You deserve to be beat up. You allowed these people to come in there and do what they wanted to do and stuff. They took your daggone assets and stuff and everything and created debt and stuff for you because that's what they are. Baines has always been a scavenger. They've always came in and scavenged company. You knew who they were when they came there, but you allowed them to come into your house and eat you alive.
They sure ate them alive.
Have to accept responsibility for allowing someone to come in and eat you up.
Ate them alive.
Ate them alive. Took them away, and they sitting around there now. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Ooh, bye. Boo, bye is over with. You allowed this to happen.
Thousands of people.
Absolutely. Out of work.
Been there for 25, 30 years.
Gone away. And
no pension or nothing.
And who comes in and covers up the territory that they lost? Amazon. Buy your toys on Amazon now.
That's exactly right.
Same thing happened to Sears and Roebuck. I remember all them Kenmore products my parents used to buy. They got a Kenmore refrigerator, got a Kenmore microwave, you got a Kenmore oven, everything around it was Kenmore, which was Sears. And the first thing Sears did and stuff with everything, when they sold you a product, what did they sell you next?
What?
A warranty. That stuff was gonna break down. they would sell my parents a refrigerator. Okay, you need to have a warranty because it's gonna break. If you got to sell me a warranty because it's gonna break, why would I buy your product? But that's what they did. They sold insurance on their product. And a lot of people bought it. They bought insurance.
So now you have two major companies, and that are gone. Now they're talking about JCPenney. Well, what was
JCPenney has already been
Target's gone.
Target is still going on. You talking about Kmart and all them? Kmart, they are already getting ready to go down. You remember Monkey Ward, don't you?
Oh yeah, Montgomery Wars. Oh yeah, they've been gone.
Monkey Wars.
They've been gone.
So that's my point. All of these companies and stuff have fell by the wayside, Ted, because they did not do the due diligence to keep themselves out there, to keep themselves profitable and stuff for the people.
Well, let's talk about this for a minute, Ed. Let's talk about this for a minute. Think about this. There are a few places where you can go now to go shop. You still have malls, but malls are being shut down left and right all across the country. You still have some major malls in certain areas. However, think about this. When it comes to consumer shopping on the internet, That means you can't feel it, you can't taste it, you can't put it on, and you have to order it and wait for it to come to you. If it's the wrong size and you just paid your money for it, and you don't like the way it feels, you don't like the way it looks on you, then you got to take the time to ship it back to try to get your money back. That's going to take a few days. So, although it might be convenient to get you a pair of eyeglasses or get you some a hat or something like that, it's not the same. People like to go out and they like to mingle. They like to go out and they like to try on things. They want to look, they want to see, they want to feel, they want to taste, they want to smell, they want to feel that fabric. So all of that's wonderful. Amazon is doing well and people are buying stuff and it's much more easier because people don't have time to do all that shopping and going through the malls. And
that's the point.
And the point is
that's the point, Ted. They give up something for the luxury of not being able to get out there and do it. And that's what happens when you decide to go online and do shopping. You're going to give up something. That's just like when you go to the mall. You give up you've got time to waste to go out there to the mall and do your shopping. That was a luxury. We don't have that luxury anymore. You got so many people and stuff out there, Ted. How many jobs are they working?
2 and 3 jobs.
2 and 3 jobs. Do they have time to go out there and do what you're talking about? Go to the mall? No, sir. They don't have that time. None of them have that time anymore. They don't want to do it. And the people who are rich don't have the time because they don't want to go out there and go shopping and everything because they're around the poor people and they don't like being around poor people. So they shop online too, or they have people to come to their homes and stuff to sell them their products and stuff, try on their clothes. They
have a personal person that does it for them.
Absolutely. A personal assistant who does all the work and stuff for them because they don't want to go out there and do it because they got other things to do. They got to fly around the country. They got to go over there and get into the sun and sunbathe and go to the layout and do all kind of stuff and lose weight and everything. Go to the gym and work out in their own home and everything. They got other things they got to get done. So each group and stuff has their reasons and stuff for going online to shop. So that luxury of going to those malls, Ted, are gone. You don't have it because most of the people, like we were saying and stuff, they don't have time to go shopping. They don't have it. That's a luxury that they have given because if you work in two jobs, Ted, you got to get there to work. You got to come back. Or you got to get there to that one job and then leave that one and get to another job and everything, and then drive to come back home and get you some rest and do whatever you can do at home right quick and stuff and get right back up and head right back out there to work. You ain't got time to go to the shopping mall.
Because you don't have time to do anything. You know what they're trying to do? Because see, when people are paying $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 for a mortgage or rent, and they gotta have that luxury car that's costing them, $600-$700 a month, and they gotta have the best phone, computers, all of that stuff, and they're just keeping up with the Joneses. They get, it's like you spiting your nose, man. I understand, luxury is nice. Having a nice home and a nice car and all that. It's very nice, very nice. But is it worth your sanity? If it's worth all that stress, is it worth it? And then you got to take pills for your pain. You gotta say the doctor. You go to the doctor and say, "Oh, well, like you got a little something going on here." You got to buy the latest fashion. Yeah, instead of buying a $300 suit, you got to buy $1,000, $1,500 suit. You know, ain't nobody gonna be paying no attention to it anyway. So, oh, he looks nice. Boom, that's it. That's all you're gonna get. So the bottom line is, you know, all that's wonderful, but is it worth your health? Is it worth your health,
But that's
your
also
happiness, your peace of mind?
that's the society that we live in and stuff now, Ted. We're living in this right now. You and I both are living in it. There are people out there who are living in it. I just have the luxury to be able to sit at home and to do things that I want to get done, or the things that I do want to get done. I just have to stop whatever I'm doing because I have to deal with emails every day. You and I, we talked about this before we had our pre-thing here, so how much stuff going on. I said, Ted, man, I got so much stuff going on, man. I don't know what to do. This has changed. That's changed. That's changed. That's changed. I stayed more busy now, Ted, than I did when I was working a 9 to 5. I'm busy, man. I'm telling you, I get up and just like you up at what, sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Doing what?
Yeah, but I be doing what I enjoy, reading.
Absolutely. But you have to do that because you want to stay up on what's going on around you, right?
Yeah. And talking about stay up.
And to do that, you have to read. You have to open up your mind and read about what's going on. Because if you don't, what's going to happen? You're going to be sitting out there looking stupid when things happen.
But look here, let me tell you, you saying stay up. Let me tell you, there's 3 things that, we need to touch on for a few minutes because I know we're running out of time here.
Yes, sir.
We got, here's his 3 top stories. USC pays out $215 million because of sexual abuse. There is a crisis in the U.S. regarding China's relations. And New Jersey will spend almost $350 million for legal gambling. So these 3 stories, when you think about it, the gambling, people trying to get more money, but this sexual abuse thing, man, is going rampant. It is crazy, man. I mean, everywhere you say, we have, you got the Olympics, Women's Olympics thing going on. You had that abuse at the colleges. You got all kinds of things that's going on with this kind of thing. And then of course China, all kind of bad relationships is going there. We don't know what's going on. China was going under really if it wasn't up for American intervention trying to get that market. And China figured it out. These are the rules you got to follow in order to come here. And they got the best of us to a certain degree, and they build up their country because of us using our money and loaning us money. All these corporations going there trying to get that market for selling cars and products and goods and services and the farm people and what have you. And now China has outdone it because, see, they don't care about their people because their people can live off of tea and rice.
And pork.
That's a fact. And pork.
And pork.
Or whatever they
eat over there. Everything in a pork, they eat it, except for the oink. They eat it. Just like we used to do.
Funny? Hey, isn't it funny, though? You don't hear a whole lot about them getting high blood pressure, diabetes, nothing, man. What is going on with that, Ed? I mean, a lot of these China people are living to be 80, 90, 100 years old, over 100 years old, and they live off of pork and rice and tea. They're doing something right as far as their life goes. And their lifestyle is so minuscule. A lot of them, not all of them, I'm talking about a big chunk of them, out of about 600 million people live a real squatted life. I mean, very minimal life. And they live long life. You know what it is? exercise.
They stay active.
They stay active.
Very active. They have to. They have to. If you got 1 billion people, Ted, around you, or 1.5 billion population, and that little in the size of that country and stuff, you better stay active. You got to keep place clean. You got to stay moving, because if you don't, you won't get run over. So it's almost a necessity to stay active and everything, because they have a little bitty little apartment or home they stay in, and everything is real small. So when you got a small space and everything, you got to be very innovative and stuff here to keep your place clean where you can walk around, because you can't just let stuff lay around and stuff when you staying in something, man, no bigger than some of our bedrooms and stuff, and that's your whole living quarters. So you have to be able to stay active and stuff to keep yourself going, because you have no other choice, and that's their lifestyle. And a lot of them
they don't have cars, even though more cars
don't have no cars. They got bicycles.
What they do, they got bicycles.
They got bicycles. They got bicycles, or they walk, and that's how they get around. And we don't have that, and we have that luxury. We want to get in our cars every day, boom, riding a car, or don't want to
2 hours going back and forth,
2 hours riding and whatever. But that's how they are. Get back to this sexual, abuse thing and stuff, Ted. As you spoke about that, where USC paid out and stuff for a sexual abuse claim, and as we look around this country and stuff, Ted, we see this stuff going on. Man, it's in the White House. You got a president. You got a president, man, who is abusing women, and it's okay to do it. And people are looking at that stuff and saying, he's saying it's okay to abuse women, and he's supposed to be our leader.
Yep.
He's abused them. He's abusing his wife and stuff right now, but she doesn't know it. She's without a clue. He abusing them. He abusing his kids. He ain't nobody saying nothing about it. They being abused. He don't care, and it's all right. He'll sit up there in a big rally and stuff, and it's okay to abuse. He talked about the lady and stuff who came forth in the Supreme Court nomination case. Oh, there ain't nothing wrong with her. She ain't got all bam, man. Just threw her around just like she was a wet blanket. And it's happening and stuff all the country. Lady being harassed. Her family can't even live because she came forth and said something. They have to leave their home because these people are calling her up and threatening her family's life because she wants to tell the truth. Sexual abuse, sexual harassment. It is rampant around here. That's what we're talking about. We have lost our immorality. It's gone. And it's just horrible, and they sit around, you got a doctor sitting down there abusing our children. He's got these girls, these young gymnasts and stuff, innocent lives. Most of these girls, man, are 14, 15 years old, trying to get out there and do what they can. And then their parents are out there waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get their daughters to gymnast class and bring them back home. And they working hard. And this summer gun is sitting around there feeling all over. This is
Then gone amok.
Going amok, man. This is just horrible. And then the ones who do get caught, they turn around there, well, I'm gonna pay some money and stuff and get away with it. Everything is all right. You got, your Catholic church and stuff. They got priests sitting right. Not all of them, but they done paid out over billions and some dollars and stuff, man. They abusing these little boys. What the heck, man? He's supposed to be a priest.
And nuns.
And it's okay. Well, the other ones now, if all of them did it, what about the other ones who didn't get caught, or the ones of the kids and stuff who are out there who have been scarred for the rest of their lives and stuff because of what happened to them? We're gonna have to grab hold of our society, man, and have some morality or whatever, and it starts from the top. And if you can't get the top to deal with it and everything, you gotta do something about it, and that's what we gotta pay attention to them little details, like we've been talking about. Get that son of gun out of our White House, just like they've been talking about get Obama out of our White House, and come to find out he was the best president that we've had in a long time. Him and his wife.
Absolutely.
I mean, the best one in a long time. So anyway, you're right,
No
Ted.
scam.
We're getting to the end here, and you had one more other thing that you were talking about, gambling. So
Yeah,
I know you've heard that the Mega Million is hitting $1.6
and I
billion.
bought me a $2 ticket.
You bought some tickets.
I bought me a $2 ticket. It's a billion. It ran over. What is it? 100 billion?
Is 1.6 billion now.
1.6 million. Oh my
Yes,
goodness!
sir, because
I'm about to go grab me another ticket.
nobody won it last night. It's $1.6 billion. If
Well,
you
when's
take
the next time it's going?
if you take Friday, I think the next one is Wednesday, because today is the Powerball, and that's what 400 million. The Powerball 400 million a day.
Everybody's looking for that big pot of gold.
Everybody looking for that big pot of gold, and gambling has just taken over, man.
Taken over.
My wife woke up this morning, and first thing she did, she grabbed her iPad up. Man, did you know nobody won prize? She just woke up, man. She just got up, and the first thing she thought about was the prize. I got to see if I won that $1 billion.
Hey, I don't blame her at all, bro. Because you know, it's amazing, man. Money can change some things. Money can change some things, a lot of things. The Bible tells us money answers all things. Well, now, I don't know how, I don't know how that you can interpret that, but that's what the Bible says. Money answers all things. Now, you can interpret any way you want.
I can tell you what, it's taking my wife's life over. When she wake up in the morning, she haven't even wiped the little stuff out of her eyes. And the first thing she wanted to look at is who won that money.
And you know what?
It didn't even dawn on me who did that, because I woke up and got my coffee. I didn't even think about no lottery until I was reading through my news blog, and I saw it. Nobody won the lottery. I thought, okay.
Boy. Well, I'm about to get me another ticket then, because I'm gonna invest $2 on that.
Yeah, you better, because it ain't
all it takes is one ticket.
That's it. Now you got people now, Ted, who come from outside the country who are buying $1 million worth of tickets.
Oh my goodness.
$1 million worth of tickets, yes, sir. And they didn't win this time. That's why that jackpot shot to 1.6 billion, because some people came out and bought a whole bunch of tickets up.
Can you imagine a programmer, man, on them numbers?
They probably got tickets, man, who had the same number on. They probably got maybe 100 tickets with the same numbers. Could.
Wow.
It's possible that they got it.
The program on that ticket, man, is just got to be out of sight. It's just like
that machine was just sitting there, man. It probably took him an hour or 2 hours to kick out all them tickets. Kicking out them tickets. That man,
they had to spread that money out somewhere, man, and say, "Hey, you go over here, you go over there."
They probably put them tickets into a box. They had a box to put all the tickets into. They wrapped them all up, stuck them in a box.
And then they had to go through. They had to go through every one of them.
Every one of them to find out what the heck happened, who won this, because there was a lot of second and third prizes and stuff that were won and stuff last night. People, you know, that second and third prize, man, I think the second prize was like $1 million.
Okay, well, all right.
So hey,
more power to you. If you play it, that's good, and if you win it, I hope you win.
That's it. Somebody gonna win it this time. I'm pretty sure, man, because if they don't win it this time, that's something gonna hit $2 billion.
Oh, have mercy.
$2 billion. It's already right now, and hit. It's matching the highest.
Well, that's about what I need.
It's matched the highest prize that ever was paid out.
That's about what I need is $2 billion, because the billion is gonna go to taxes. So then I'll have $1 billion free.
Well, yeah, if you're getting $2 billion, yeah, but even at that 1.2 billion and stuff, they said that you take the cash prize, they're gonna eventually gonna give you a $500 million, a little over $500 million, minus the taxes. You got the $1 billion, the taxes you got to pay out get about $560 million off the $1 billion ticket.
So that's all I need is $1 billion.
So
free and clear.
So you're gonna pay out about $400 million in taxes. So the government is gonna wind up getting very, very happy.
Exactly what do they do with that money? Because nobody's being accounted for. They're getting all this money for gambling and stuff now. When my old man, my stepdad used to sell policy, man, he had to get a felony. A misdemeanor at the time. It was a misdemeanor. Every time he'd go out there and he had to pay off the cops.
Well,
to do the number running. Come on, man. It's legal.
It's legal now, but it's
legal. Funny now, 50 years ago, marijuana, man, they catch you with marijuana, boy, you gone. Now you can go buy it at the corner store.
They got them all over.
It's amazing how times change.
Yeah, you go to Colorado, man, they got them all over the place. You sit outside, man, on the street now and smoke your dope. Ain't nobody gonna bother you.
You got all these people in jail for nothing.
Yeah, you ain't walking down the streets. Hey, man, let me hit that.
Let me get a hit.
Let me get a hit.
It's just like when like if you ever smoked, you smoking and somebody see you got a cigarette. Hey man, you got a cigarette, man. Let me get a cigarette.
Let me get a cigarette. Let me get that stuff you got, man, because it smells good.
Yeah, man.
You get high walking down the street. You have to smell. Oh man, we ought to quit, man. We done got too far. Anyway, people out there in our 10-day TV land, we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go.
Because it's getting too much here. We're going to see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good day. Bye.
Hey baby, what you trying to do? Spent the night just trying to find you. You the hottest one under the sun, and I'm under your spell. We stuck just like glue. You ain't got the free crib, oh well. You and me can head to the hotel. Whatever we do, just don't tell. I don't need anybody all on my coattail. I feel your energy and I ain't trying to fight it. Your vibe is way too exciting. I know I'm who you want to ride with. Don't fake it, I know that you like it.
It's more than just emotions. I'm getting more emotions. All you gotta do is focus, not what you used to, but you like it. But you like it. Ooh, yeah. I've been out here looking for you. Just something special, man.
Get up on my roller coaster. Get inside my air.